Hey everyone, welcome back to another chart with me video, and in this video we are going to be talking about US30 and the upcoming moves that could potentially happen for this upcoming week. I'm going to talk about my entry zones, exit zones, and profit target zones, so make sure you follow along and pick up some nuggets that's going to help you make better decisions for your own trading for this upcoming week. So let's just go ahead and start with what we talked about last week. So in this video, I'm not going to erase all the lines and put them all back like I do essentially every other video. But what we are going to do is we're going to make some modifications, mainly because if we look at the price action from this past week and compare it with the game plan that we had from last week, we can clearly see that my plan was to wait for a pullback and then enter the trade. And obviously with this huge gap up here, that didn't happen. So basically that idea went out of the window. And some of the things that I was trading that are included in the US30 also did the same kind of gap up. So I had to do analysis on those other things as well. And you can see some of those companies listed up here. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these lines, but I'm going to keep these other lines because there is a possibility for price to come back down. Do I want it to come down? Absolutely not, because these positions are looking amazing so far. So I want them to continue to push up. So let me go ahead and go to the weekly time frame and just adjust my view. So that way we could just kind of do a quick recap of some of the things that we marked off last week. So one of the things that I see on this time frame is these black lines here were basically projections as to where price could potentially go, and I did that using the Fibonacci retracement tool. And if you want to catch that, then go ahead and find the US30 video that was a week before this one, so that way you can follow along as well and get a better sense of what I did and how I came up with all of these levels. But basically, since now we have a little bit more market structure, I'm going to erase at least that one. I'll probably keep these other ones that I have here, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the reason why is because now that we made a new high inside of the market, I want to mark this off. So right now, this high is sitting at 45,000, which is the highest point in the market so far. So I definitely want to mark that off on the weekly time frame. And then this other level right here that we drew at 44,499, roughly 500, then I want to keep that and leave that alone. And then these other levels we will talk about on other time frames, because it kind of makes no sense for me to talk about them here on the weekly. So now let's go down to the daily. And as we can see on the daily time frame, now that we got our new level marked off, that candle tapped into that zone, that's why we marked it off. And now if we look at this level that we marked off, still looks good because we have this rejection here, and then we also have a rejection in the opposite direction here as well. And if we look at this level here at 43,733, this level, I still want to keep that, as well as this level here at 43,439. Now keep in mind that these are kind of rough approximations. Basically, if you're using a different US30 chart, then the number can vary slightly, but for the most part, it should be in this ballpark. And the other level that I have marked off is 42,890 roughly, and I want to keep those levels. Now these levels all the way down here, basically we can just get rid of them. And the reason why is because we made a new high inside of the market, and it would take a lot of volume in order for price to come from way up here to way down here. So if we look at that, this is a lot of movement. So basically from 45,000 to 42,000, which would mean roughly a 2,800, 2,900 point drop inside of the market. And we obviously don't want that. Not to say that it can't happen, but the probability is relatively low, especially for this upcoming week. So if we go to the H4 time frame, and we can see that we have really nice levels and pretty much clean market structure represented here. If we look at this level here at 44,147, really close to 150. I have this level here mainly because of some sort of rejections probably, but we will go down on lower time frames and take a much closer look at that just to make sure that everything still looks good. And this level right here was mainly because we have a resistance and rejections. This level right here is at 43,900 and let's just say 50. And then this level right here is at 43,727, really close to 30. And the reason why is because if we look to the left, we have all these rejections in the zone. And then we also have price that tapped into the zone and then pushed up. And then here, our other level is at 43,440, mainly because we had a lot of resistances formed in the zone, in this pretty much consolidation zone right here. And then if we look to the left, we could also see that there is a support right here. And then this level, for the same reason that I talked about before, price tapped into there. So let's go down to H2. All right, so we can see all of our levels with a lot more detail. And this over here, we see a really nice support here at 44,148. And then another reason why I drew this, let me make this a little bit bigger, is because if we take our cursor and we hover over that line, we can see that price is rejecting this level, not just once, but 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times right here. So this was an ideal level for me to make the decision to put the level here. And once again, if you want to see all of the decisions that went into creating these lines, then go ahead and check out the video from last week in order to get a more in-depth explanation of why these lines were drawn where they were. All right, so now if we look at recent price action, actually let's go down to H1 and take a closer look. If we look at more recent price action here, let me make some adjustments. We can see that there are some levels that we could potentially mark off in order to possibly take trades from for this upcoming week. One of the levels that I see is at 44,800 roughly, and I'm going to draw a level here. And as you can see, this pretty much lines up perfectly. We have rejections, resistance. We also have support in here. We also have a support. It came down and then came back up. And then we also have a support that formed right here. So this is a really good level. And for now, we are going to just leave this alone. But this is looking really good. And we can see that it's, pretty much in alignment. So this level that we drew last week right here, price pushed up above here, chopped around a bit, and then came down to this exact level and then pushed up and made a new high inside of the market. So this level definitely want to keep. It's actually a really strong level, and I wanted to draw this other level in order to have another possible trading zone, because if we look at the space from here to all the way up here, this is almost 600 points, and that's a really large zone. So this down here, 300 points, is a bit more manageable. Now we are at the point inside of the video where I'm going to talk about my game plan for the upcoming week. And the obvious thing for me is we had a high right here. Price could come down to this level and then continue to push up and make new highs. Or we could also see a deeper retracement from here and push up. But one thing I do want to note is that if price was to, for whatever reason, come below this level right here, this could be an opportunity for shorts, mainly because this is a really key level, and this key level was really defined after this gap, and then price came to this level exactly and then pushed up. So this tells me that this is a really strong level, and this level is roughly 44,500. And if price was to break and close below this level, let's say on the hour time frame, that's one of my favorite time frames to look for entries, or some other time frame, then that could mean potential sells. And basically it would be from here to here initially, just making sure that it clears this level, but ultimately coming down here. So what I want to do is to extend this level here, and then also I want to draw a level right here, just basically just as a signal for me to say, hey, watch out for the thing happening here over to the left. Price came to the zone but rejected, so price has the potential to do the same thing in the future. So essentially I would be moving my zone from there to here, so basically below 44,500. That's what I would be looking for. And to address this no man's land up here, what I would actually do is go back to a higher time frame, such as the daily. And what I would want to do is to make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. So basically I have a point from here to the top. So I would take my Fibonacci retracement tool and just go to the very bottom here up to the top. And now I have some extension levels that I can mark off. So I would move this right here to 45,000. That's almost 700 exactly. So that's actually really nice right there. And you can read the numbers here. If you don't have that, you could set the setting up inside of your trading view, but I do, but pretty much it's really close to there. And then another level right here around 46,463, really close to 500. So let me just mark this off. These are some levels, and then there's some more levels up there, but the probability of price getting up there in a week is really low. So I just want to focus on these immediate levels right here. So let me get rid of this Fibonacci because I want my charts to be clean. Right here is the game plan for this upcoming week. And if price was to break this level and continue to push up, then now we have a level that we could potentially target and another level that we could potentially target if price was to move up even further. So hopefully you are able to take away some nuggets that will help you not only take better trades with more confidence inside of the live market, but also be able to mark up your own charts and be able to make decisions for yourself as you build your trading skills. I will see you next time.